Hello everyone, Georgian Mountain Biking Channel, and in today's video we are doing something different, but mostly the same. As you can see here, this is my bike and not the trail, but we are not working on the trail or talking about the trail today because we are actually talking about the bike and why you should upgrade your suspension. Well, before I even say that, if you're going out and you are on a budget, and when I think of a budget bike, I think of anything below $1,000, like especially for a beginner bike, because most people, when I see them pick out budget bikes, they're $2,000. Now to me, that's not budget. That's going out and getting a really nice bike. So this bike stock was $300, but when you go out and get a $300 full suspension bike, you can actually get a really good $300 bike from Walmart. Now, I know a lot of people don't like getting Walmart bikes, but there's actually some really good ones coming out that like are $300 that are hardtails. But when you are getting a full suspension, and when I got this bike, I didn't really know that. You really want to get a full suspension bike that's over $1,000 and not really below the $1,000 range. But you can buy a cheap bike like I did, even though $300 isn't cheap to me. That's still expensive. You can go ahead and get a bike like I did, and technically what I think of it is you just bought the frame of the bike. Now I know it's not a $300 frame, but you bought a bike that has already tires, handlebars, a stock suspension fork, and this is the stock shock that came on it. But now to the topic of today's video of why you should upgrade your suspension shock, either front or rear, on a budget bike. Now, a budget bike will come with a rear shock like this one, which is great for on-road riding and maybe very hard-packed dirt riding. Nothing very nothing with jumps, because like it struggled with even these jumps. And if you have a bike setup like I do, I really recommend not hitting tough trails. Like this is not even a tough trail, but like not even getting anything that has big bumps or whatever, because if you do go ahead and do that and use the stock shock, this will happen. This is currently my seat post. I don't know if you can see it, but there's a dent right there. I don't think it did enough damage that if I want to upgrade to a dropper post, it will do anything, because I can move this in and out pretty perfectly. Well, other than it not having any grease, so it's kind of hard. But it also damaged the linkage point right there, and that is not from this one. That is actually from that shock, from riding off of stuff I shouldn't have been with that shock. So that is just why you should, that's one of the reasons why you should upgrade if you're going to go off-road, is to upgrade your shock so it doesn't damage your bike like it did to mine. Another thing is your performance off-road will be much better. When I upgraded to this shock, I wasn't bouncing around as much. I felt more confident, even though this is the only trail I've ever really ridden. I still felt more confident on it. And also, it just won't feel as janky. Also, this shock right here, after a while of riding, it started making creaking noises, and this grime started coming out the top. I think it busted or whatever. I'm not sure. I don't even know how this shock even works. I kind of want to take it apart, but I don't know how to. Because, like, there's no screws or nothing. It was an adjustable shock. That's something I was surprised. You could adjust it to how stiff you wanted it, but I didn't really want it to be that stiff. So, but on the other end, you could pick up a cheap bike like I did. Like I said, it's not cheap to me, but to many people it is cheap, and upgrade it. So it's technically like you're buying a frame and adding parts to it. And currently, ignore my jank. I really need to get this fixed. Currently, I'm just using like a bunch of tape to actually keep this in place in the middle, which is not good. at all. Like, I know it could damage it if I keep it like that forever, but you can do what I did. And RockShox and the Fox, is it Fox Shocks? I think so. I should know that. But I recommend those two brands if you really want to go upgrade something. D&M is another choice out there for a cheaper option. I couldn't get D&M because the fitting I had, it's a 165 millimeter to eye. They didn't have that in stock. So I went ahead and got this RockShox Monarch L. I think that's what it is. RL, yeah. And it works perfectly fine. It has a lockout option. It's air shock, of course. And you can also, adjust rebound right there. And ever since I got this shock, I haven't heard the rear end bottom out as much as it did with that shock. And also my front fork, I didn't take care of it, so I'm pretty sure I busted the seals. It's all nasty now. I did clean it a few times, and I did take care of that, but I just neglected it, and it didn't really turn out well. But I really recommend upgrading your rear shock on a bike. It just helps your performance, and also it doesn't damage your bike like it did to mine. I'm not really into the statistical stuff that, it helps you out, but I guarantee you it improves a ton of stuff like that. So if you're wanting to improve your riding performance and not damage your bike like I did, I really, really suggest that you upgrade your shock. Like I said, it doesn't have to be an expensive shock. Like the D&M I was going to get was only $100. And a lot of people actually really liked it for its price. But I picked this RockShox Monarch RL up off Amazon for $250. Now, yes, that is almost the price of this bike. So, essentially, I could have bought this bike over again with the price of the shock. But that is it for today. And as always, remember to ride your bike daily. And if you're still around and wondering about my upload schedule, I'm going to try to get 2 videos out a week and get like a few shorts in there, here and there. But I'm going to try 2 videos a week. I'll probably do more than that, but it'll probably just most likely be 2, if not 1. So for those wondering, that's what my upload schedule will be.